On DC News Now, DC Mayor Muriel Bowser says more officers on city streets are making a difference, which she says is and isn't working during the federal law enforcement surge.
Johns Hopkins is no longer a part of the United Healthcare Network, meaning patients in our area are no longer covered in network. The real impact it's having on families.
Plus, Cracker Barrel facing heat over their logo after controversy.
Why change? And it's iconic.
The decision to keep the logo the same and how others are feeling.
Another warm afternoon is turning into another chilly evening. We'll let you know how long these chillier temperatures will continue to stick around.
And all aboard Amtrak's next-gen Acela trains now in service. Why this upgrade to Acela service on the Northeast Corridor is going to make a difference.
Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
And good afternoon. I'm Annalisa Gale. We're following some breaking news out of Minnesota where 2 children are dead and 17 others are injured after a shooting during the first week of classes at a Minneapolis Catholic school. Right now, we know of those 17 injured, 15 are children and 2 are adults. Those students ranging from 6 to 14 years old. Police say the shooter opened fire at Annunciation Church. The Minneapolis police chief says the shooter was armed with a rifle, shotgun, and pistol. He says the shooter fired shots through the side of the church towards children sitting in the pews during Mass. We're told the shooter died after a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Students from pre-K through 8th grade are enrolled in that school.
And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
It doesn't make me feel safe at all with this community that I've been a part of for so long.
President Donald Trump has ordered flags to be flown at half-staff for those victims. We'll have more on this coming up at 4:30. For now, you can head to our website, dcnewsnow.com, for the latest updates.
In the district, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is saying that federal law enforcement surge on city streets is having a big impact on driving down violent crime.
Yeah, D.C. News Now's Randy Bass is tracking the new developments coming out of a situational update with city leaders this afternoon. Good afternoon, Randy. What are you learning?
Yes, good afternoon to you both. We are hearing that violent crime is down 45%. That was the big takeaway from today's situational update with the mayor and other city leaders. That figure was among other numbers reported in comparison to this same time last year. That 45% down figure aligns with the start of the federal takeover surge earlier this month. Another significant stat, carjackings are down 85% compared to the same period just 1 year ago. The mayor says she spoke with President Donald Trump today about what's happening, and after that call, she met with reporters laying out what she and other city leaders feel like is working. That's more police officers taking illegal guns off the street and more accountability, saying the city has seen fewer gun crimes, homicides, and carjackings. The mayor and police chief have both said for a long time the city is several hundred officers short. As for what's not working, she says there's been an erosion of trust in police in the community, especially when it comes to masked ICE agents and bringing in National Guard from other states. The mayor says the focus needs to be on violence, not immigration enforcement.
I am concerned for sure because we think anything that we do and anything that we're going to ask federal partners to do is focused on violent crime.
If they're here, we will utilize our federal partners in spaces and places where we have heard from our community and when we've looked at our own data and analysis in areas across the city where we know that we've had a certain spike in crime.
The mayor today also talking about homelessness, another pillar of the federal takeover, saying about 81 people have moved into shelters since the start of the federal resource surge here in the district, since they started making that effort to remove homeless encampments here in D.C. The city, though, plans to do another point-in-time homelessness count to see how many people still remain homeless in the district and where they might be. In Northwest, I'm Randy Bass, D.C. News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. The Trump administration announcing plans to take control over D.C.'s Union Station. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced the move earlier today. Duffy says that he hopes to turn Union Station into the premier stations in the world. He says that he thinks that they can bring in new tenants and more revenue. also manage the property better, saying that Union Station has fallen into despair. Mayor Bowser saying today that she welcomes any investment in Union Station, saying that some estimates for necessary work at the building are in the billions of dollars.
It needs investments. It's been, I think, neglected for decades, and it's showing its age. And again, we want to make this place beautiful and the premier train station, not just in America, but the premier train station in the world. And that takes money. And again, it's this reform that's going to help us make that happen.
Union Station is one of the largest travel hubs in the Northeast, and Union Station says it hosts about 40 million visitors a year.
Meantime, new data from Reuters now providing a temperature check on how people around the country feel about the recent National Guard deployment in the district. In that poll, 38% of adults say they support Trump's decision, while 46% are against it. 16%, meantime, saying they still don't know how they feel about it.
Meantime, President Trump has instructed several beautification projects across the district. Members of Task Force Beautification were near the tidal basin picking up trash. The president has asked Congress for $2 billion to support efforts to improve the district. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum spoke on what's being done now to get estimates on beautification efforts.
Going to be an ask that goes out to Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune on behalf of the White House, on behalf of the executive branch, to say, you know, here's a price tag for us to get D.C. looking better and safer than it ever has before.
The Mayor Bowser says that she's in support of the president's push to beautify the city.
All right, a great day for wearing a light sweater out there. Definitely starting to see those sweaters being pulled out. Meteorologist Damon Matson.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what an odd end to August, if you will, given the current temperatures that are out there. Now, I will say this, we are continuing to see fairly sunny conditions across the board, but it's only warming us up to a certain point out there, folks. I will say that much as we've gone here throughout much of the day. Now, as far as that sunshine is concerned, well, there you have it. We aren't seeing really much in the way of cloud cover. If we zoom down just a little bit farther, we are definitely able to see a few more of those clouds that have streamed on in out of the north and west. So yeah, parts of the DMV certainly covered a little more in that cloud cover, like out toward Cumberland, Kaiser, Winchester, and Hagerstown. But as you drift to the south and east, parts of Virginia, southern Maryland into the district, not really seeing much in the way of that cloud cover. Now, temperature wise, we have slowly but surely been warming things up in the district right now. We're looking at a temperature of 75 degrees, not bad whatsoever. As you slide up north, you do even see a few upper 70s in north central Maryland and down toward Virginia. A few spots too, trying to creep up toward 80 degrees, but all in all, feeling pretty comfortable out there. Now, as we roll on into the overnight hours, are we gearing up for another chilly night? And will this beautiful setup continue into the Labor Day holiday? We'll have a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. New details in the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case. His lawyers saying he is seeking asylum in the U.S. now. This comes after he was detained by ICE in Baltimore Monday, then moved to a detention center in Virginia. The Trump administration says they intend to deport him to Uganda. Officials allege Abrego Garcia is a part of the MS-13 gang, and they are accusing him of human trafficking. Abrego Garcia has pleaded not guilty in that case. His lawyers say this is not his first time applying for asylum. He was previously denied.
In the district, federal prosecutors failed to secure a felony indictment against a man who threw a sandwich at a federal agent in the streets of Washington. According to the New York Times, the grand jury rejected the charge against 37-year-old Sean Dunn, calling it rare criticism of the U.S. Attorney's Office. Dunn had shouted at officers and then threw the sandwich near a busy D.C. street corner. And video of the incident went viral. Prosecutors could now pursue misdemeanor charges, which don't require grand jury approval.
In Virginia, the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors are backing the president of George Mason University. According to FFXNow.com, Gregory Washington was criticized by the Trump administration over alleged DEI hiring and admissions practices, as well as claims he mishandled anti-Semitism complaints. Meantime, the GMU president is denying those claims. The County Board of Supervisors stressing the importance of George Mason University to Fairfax and also to the state.
Well, many families in our area are scrambling to find new doctors after an agreement between Johns Hopkins and United Healthcare expired Monday. About 60,000 patients are affected. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joins us live in Northwest DC. Daniel, what are the patients' biggest concerns right now?
Mark, they're worried that they won't get the care they need with doctors being out of network now. Sibley here and Suburban in Bethesda are the two big Hopkins hospitals in our area, in addition to a lot of other physicians. I talked with one couple in Arlington who says they have to go to Baltimore every few months with their son to get him life-saving treatment. Families in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia with United Healthcare can no longer use Johns Hopkins doctors and hospitals at in-network rates.
It's heartbreaking, and I hate seeing my kid being used as leverage.
Bridget and Ben Peden have been going to Hopkins in Baltimore for years to get care for their 10-year-old son, Jack, who has cystic fibrosis.
We're at where we want to be, and now we're just cut off from our care team. So it's terrifying as a mother, as a parent, to not have access to our medical team that we love and trust.
Johns Hopkins Medicine says it's negotiated in good faith with United Healthcare for more than 8 months, trying to change excessive prior authorization requirements and frequent treatment denials. In response, United Healthcare says Hopkins is to blame and its demands would harm employers and members, adding that Hopkins has spread inaccurate information regarding how claims are processed. The Pedens feel caught in the middle with their son.
He's not a bargaining chip. He's not leverage. He's a 10-year-old born with a really hard disease.
United says people in active or ongoing treatment for a serious or complex condition are eligible for continuity of care at in-network rates.
I guess we have some temporary kind of maybe solution in place for 90 days, but then beyond that, we don't know. So I don't know if UHC and Hopkins can come to an agreement and get it back into network or not.
Now, United says it did propose extending the contract with Hopkins to continue their discussions, but they say Hopkins refused. Johns Hopkins says it is actively working with United to resume in-network status as soon as possible. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, Daniel, thank you. All right, DMV, still buzzing about the return of Washington Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin, who signed a 3-year contract extension on Monday. Scary Terry is expected to speak to the media after today's practice in Ashburn. It will be his first news conference since signing his new deal. Head coach Dan Quinn spoke just a short while ago about how important it is to get his star wide receiver back on the field.
I love coaching him. He is a rare competitor, so he'll be out on the field today with his teammates, along with Noah Brown and some others that are on the way back. So that's an important time, and even though it's not technically game week, just to get some reps together, it's a big deal for us, and yeah, we're really pumped about it.
Big deal indeed. Tune in to Game Night tonight at 11. Our Tiger Munn will have a full report from Ashburn on Terry McLaurin's return and the team's preparation for the season opener, which is just over a week away.